got the stainless on it, so it's an 84. It's repainted. It has our missing MSW from the car up top, but that means we have 3 total MSWs. So where is the 4th? Who knows? This car has a really nice blue interior. Very, very nice blue interior. Very, very nice seats in it. So that driver's seat is a later model. This is the older model. Early model, I guess you could say. It's technically not early, but we're not going to argue semantics right now. This car is in nice shape in general. Rear seat looks pretty good. Really nice shape rear seat. This car, I don't think there's much that we can do with this car. Hey, headlight bezels. That's, I mean, really what we're looking for from an 84 is those. So it's got the headlight bezels. It's nice to have friends that can help you in this kind of situation. It's about 45 degrees out, raining. And if you notice, this whole property is pretty well cleared out of cars. So, good news is, I did buy every single one of them. The Volvos. All 14. So, hey, at least we got something to do, right? Now, if only we could find property to buy, that'd be pretty good. Yes, sir. Moves a little bit easier with that thing than it does with my winch. So, good deal. You don't need no stinking wheels. And that's it. That's the last car that's down here in the bottom. So everything else we got to get is up top. Easy as pie or cake, whatever. Oh, easy, buddy. We pushed all that up. Into the field of dreams. There, not too bad. Another one comes home. You know how I like to go to the woods and I grab old Volvos and drag them home, and then we try to do fun things with them? Well, today I'm going to show you how to bring a car home from the woods and clean it up to make it a little more presentable. That way your neighbors don't get all mad. So this car here is a 1985 Volvo 240 B230 automatic. It's really nothing special. It does have the cool trim on it, the really thick metal what's it trim, you know what I mean? That's exactly what I'm saying. This car is exactly like our 85 240 that we dragged home from the scrapyard about, what was it, 14 months ago? I'll link the video in the description. Went there, dragged it out, cleaned it up. We meant to sell it, but we never did. You know how it goes. Anyway, this video is all about how to take this awful paint. Never mind that fender, it was originally yellow. But how to take this awful paint and try to clean it up. So this paint is very, very, very bad. Like, it's got plenty of lichen on it. You know, this kind of stuff only happens if it's been in the woods for many, many years. Typically you'll see this pollen left on it and then decompose, and then you get all the bug lines in it. That's normal after a couple of years, but lichen and moss that's been sitting for quite some time. So unfortunately, this car did have the transmission taken out of it. The ECU's gone, wiring's toast. There's no getting this one to run, unfortunately. But it does have the last MSW that I need. That's a whole nother story. This car is one of the 14 Volvos in the Woods cars. About a year ago, we found an old farm that had 14 of these old Volvo 240s in the woods. And we've been slowly picking them all up, cleaning them up, getting parts out of them, stashing them if they're still good for parts, and if they're really junk, then we just scrap them, because some of them were super rusty. Some of them we have kept, some of them we've sold. I'll link the playlist in the description so you can see where all these cars have gone. This one, no paperwork, no transmission. B230, so it's an 85 B230, so it's not a desirable motor. It's got the Chrysler ignition in it, so nobody really cares about it. Yeah. The paint, there's a little bit of shine left in it. I think this car might actually clean up pretty good. Taking a look down the other side, again, very, very nice. No real major rust. There's a spot right here that's kind of funny on the door, but that looks like it's damage from an accident, which is how that fender got replaced at some point. The rest of it, though, it's not great. Delete that. Look at this. Take a whiff in there. Never mind. Should probably call her, though. You know, it's all just superficial debris that's on it. And it sucks that it's a 244. Well, this 244 is a nice car. I mean, one that's running and driving with good tires on it. No major needs. I mean, $2 grand. That's really all they're worth. $3 grand maybe. Let's set up the and we'll give this thing a what's it. Sprayer like this is nice because you can pump it up a little bit and then you have a pretty much endless stream of what's it coming out of there, so you can throw it at your car and get a nice soaking. We're actually going to start with the trunk here. What I want to portray is how the solvent soaks into the shmoo, and through a time lapse you should see a change in color. Shmoo goes on. We'll just leave that to sit for maybe 10 minutes. We're in the shade, in direct sunlight. You might have to come back and reapply. And we're gonna hit it again with a quick reapply. Just make sure it's good and soaked. We're gonna hit this thing quickly with a pressure washer and we'll see how it comes out. Not too shabby. I will say I think that this paint is a little more dirty than I was thinking. Now these spots of sap, sometimes you can use gasoline, just wipe on them. Sometimes you can use one of these Magic racing wheels. It is sap though, so it's just going to keep pushing over. See? Well, it looks like we're going to go with gasoline method or starting fluid. I'll be right back. Okay, we'll just give her a little spritz of brake cleaner and look at that. She gone. So this trunk lid has a lot of sap and debris in the paint, and you know, this might be a good candidate for what the hell's it called when you do the thing with the guy? You know what I mean? Clay bar. Yeah, that's the one. That is the one I was thinking of. Anyway. Yeah. It takes a long time to get paint to come back. But if you have a car that's, you know, nice, it could potentially be worth your time. Starting to get some shine back to her. Funny how it started compared to how it is now. But that's all it takes, really. You just take a little bit of time and clean her up. I'm going to work on the rest of the car, and I'll check back with you. Now really, that is not bad. That's coming out pretty nice. It's funny how just a little wash can really help a car. This fender being a repaint, all of it's flaking off, and if you look closely, you can see that the paint under it has a bit of a shine to it. That tells me that when they painted this fender, they did not take the time to properly scuff the paint under it. Fortunately, that means we could probably bring this back to a yellow fender and maybe find it a home where somebody needs a yellow fender. Switching gears to the hood, this thing is clearly a mess. Okay, scrubbed on the top a little bit. It's coming out pretty good. Need to soak it again a little bit and see what we can do to help it out. But it is definitely cleaning up. It's cool when you can get a good shine out of things, especially if you look. Yeah, right there. Yeah, shiny. It's enough, Amazon. Go away. Just hit it with a second coat of purple power. The degreaser, of course. I haven't touched this side yet. Sticking to the hood. Oh my, would you look at that? Of course, there's a lot of junk in the paint still. This is a pretty nice car. Hood's not rusty. Look at this thing now. I think it's kind of hard to see here in the light we have available. The sun's still up there, it's just behind the pine trees. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of junk in this paint. Unfortunately, when you get a lot of mold and whatnot on these cars, it gets into the paint. Like that's down under the paint. Not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, this is pretty gross. This was the eastern facing side. Of course, the nose was to the south. That's why we've got so much algae and whatnot built up on the side of this thing. We'll spray it down and hit it with the time lapse. Okay, so hear me out. I may have gotten a little ahead of myself here. Uh, yeah, so we dug the buffer out. Oh my goodness. Baby, you so smooth. That thing looks fantastic. Yeah, same car. Same car. We'll just walk to the end here and look at all this junk in the paint. So I hit it with a clay bar a little bit, worked on it, got it mostly smooth, and then cleaned up the rest with the buffer. And it's worth it. It is totally worth it. So I might have found a home for this car. And it's not mine. Let's go, somebody else. But this car will live on. We're quickly losing sunlight. So I'm gonna soak this other side down and just start rushing around here like a madman. Funny turn of events. I said, hey, how's the underside of that thing? All right, here we go. I don't know which one is better, but we'll just do that. So anyway, look at this thing. This yellow fender is not very good, but where the car is white, any bits of the body is pretty good. Hold on, let me grab the jack so we can get this thing a little higher up. Let me just give it a quick not a single tire with air in it on this car. Look at this thing. There's a better look at that hole. Yeah, that's not rust, that's just where somebody jacked up on it, unfortunately. It looks like the back floor there is a little crusty. Otherwise, man, this thing's super nice. Even the exhaust is nice on it. That's funny. Except back there. Up here looks good. Still got the cat at least. Oh, somebody cut and welded a different cat in it. Swapping to the phone real quick. A little bit of dirt coming off of the roof or whatever. It's still, you know, the perpetual dirt from under the trim, but this thing is cleaning up really, really nice. It's unfortunate that that door is smacked. Probably won't be putting a door on it. Guess we can hit the back, clean this thing up. Look, there's no rust in the butt cheek. There's no rust. That's incredible. Not even in the little seam there. Maybe it's bubbling a bit. Nope, just kidding. New day, new problem. Yeah, dug around the trunk a little bit, and well, I was able to find the bezels. Need to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't have any clips either for them, but that does not mean I can't stick them in there. I looked around for some bulbs, because I have all the brackets and everything, and the hardware is really clean, thankfully. So I really don't see any reason we can't just throw the bezels on it. Should be as easy as just popping it right in, you know? Just pop. Pops right in. Now the good news is, just needs bulbs. At least those are with the car. Washed it, gave it a little bit of a buff, and now this thing is looking fantastic. It's amazing what a wash and a little bit of a rub down can do. There you go, now it looks right. Nice to put a face on the car again. Trying to shut it all the way, but here we go. Yeah, got a little fogging going on with this guy, but All the hardware's there, all the clips are there. Just needs bulbs. This thing's coming along nicely. I think we can do a little better with the wheel situation. Yeah, hold on a second. yeah, we'll get those. Get these and do the thing with those. These are the ones I think. I like it. Come on, that's the right size. The thread's messed up. The threads must be messed up on that one. Monster trucking today. First we need to convince the wheel to off, you know? Tool here. Oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. Not bad at all. What the? Monster truck. Look at that wheel cap. Oh my god. Look, that's a 1 finger gap. I'm just kidding. Squeeze her on in there. And out she goes. Look at that. That hub's not even locked up. That's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Well, looking around under this thing, and up front looks pretty good, but this rear floor, yeah, this rear floor is a little chunky. Not great. We can probably cut that exhaust off completely and just be done with it. It is somebody else's hodgepodge, I believe. Unfortunately, they did cut the flange off of the downpipe, which is unfortunate. Unfortunately, drive shaft's out of it. Could probably dig something up somewhere. Anyway, look at this thing. Oh yeah, we gotta put another tire on it. Hold on. Those springs are pretty stiff. I'm dying to know if this thing runs. Let's talk about this. We know for a fact. Yeah, there you go. Starter, transmission, all the important bits are missing out of this thing. I do have a solution. If you'll join me in here for a moment. No, not turbo. Yeah, that one. That motor right there. Longtime viewers of the channel will remember, probably over a year ago, this motor, we stuck a carburetor on this, actually it's a boat carburetor, and we got this to fire and run on this furniture dolly. But we have a starter that I know works. We've got some bell housing bolts, we got a bell housing, I don't see why we can't make this work. If I'm being honest, getting this thing to run on this furniture dolly is probably one of my favorite videos if you've ever done. It's a really good video. Go check it out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this thrown into the old beater over there and try to get it to run, I guess. Good news, everybody. She's stuck. She's stuck big time. Pulled all the plugs out of her. It actually looks really clean. Surprisingly clean. Pulled the dipstick out of her and well, she's crusty. She's crusty all the way through. I don't know if you can see that crust. Ran to the store real quick. Got some of the good stuff. A little Marvel Mystery Oil ATF PB Blaster. We'll see if this sucker likes a good pickling. You know what I mean? Oh, that cylinder's full already. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. We'll mix everything in there. And worst case scenario, it does nothing. Right? Right. We'll let this pickle for a while and we'll see if it'll free up. I don't know if we're gonna have any luck with it, but it is what it is. I mean, luckily the guy this car is going to already has a motor for it, but this is just for you guys. You know, we gotta know if it runs, right? New day, new problem. All right, so this thing's been soaking a while, and I don't have high hopes for it. It's pretty rusty all the way through. Let's put a bar on it and see if anything will happen. If you look, the crank pulley under here is disgusting. Look how rusty that is. Let's see what happens here. I promise you this is gonna be a great success. Oh, wow. Turns out we got some critters living in the airbox. Okay, round two. All right, here we go. Oh, it went backwards. It's definitely locked up though. Oh, crunchy. I like it. Oh. This has some problems. Yep. There it goes. It's free. Oh God, honey. That wasn't me. That was the motor. Well, she's unstuck. Good news, boys and girls. After we cleared out all the nuts from the but anyway, cleared all that out. We did get her to turn over, so it does turn a little bit. Cool. Let's slap a starter in it and crank it. I was having some issues with this bell housing clearing the flywheel, which I don't really understand. It should go right on. Could be something I'm doing, could be debris on the dowels. Good news is we can just use this hardware and we can just slap that starter in, run that hardware in, and it'll hold it. These are shorter than the stock hardware that would normally go through that and the length there and the thing, because the guy, you know what I mean? Questionably good battery into the car. This thing is rough. Oh, we got dingage. I don't know if you can hear it. We got lights. Of course, hard to see in the sunlight. Yeah, buddy. Well, they both work. Alright, if you see me out here wearing green, it's March 17th. Happy St. Paddy's Day to my Irish brothers and sisters out there. Extended family, cousins, sisters, their cousins, what have you. Anyway, battery's in, let's give it a bump. I've got you over here near the battery with me. Only because I don't know exactly what's going to happen with all the oil that's in the cylinders. It's probably going to be a mess. Alright, let's reach down in there. See if it'll crank at least, right? Oh, bad connection. Might have to tighten up on that. Here we go again. That stinks. But she cranks. She cranks. Okay, for my next trick, we're gonna, oh shit, don't forget the battery. Or I mean, the bolt, battery, bolt, whatever. This is a one of them Chrysler ignition units. This is actually out of our silver 244 that we saved last year. 2 years ago? A year and a half ago? Anyway, yeah, we know this box is good, so we'll chuck it in here and see what we can do. Okay, spark plug in the guy there, do the thing, down on the thing, that onto that. I said that down to that. That down to that. That down to that. That down to that. Yeah, no spark. Wow, wow. Alright, now we're going to check electricity. Alright, clean the points, wash the carburetors out, and I prayed to Jesus. And by that I mean cleaned up some of the contacts over there. I am not hopeful for this thing. Yeah, not an ounce spark. Digging through this thing a little more carefully, I recognize the throttle stuff has been all pulled apart. And this ground, this is fairly important ground. I believe that's to the main harness, and that could be our ground for our distributor. So I'm going to go ahead, yank this 10 mil out, slap that ground in, and we'll see what happens. guy out, this guy in. That easy. Fixed. You got anything? Oh yeah, baby. I got the spark now. Cool. That's definitely a relief. I'm gonna clean some spark plugs up. Just gonna reuse these. They don't look like they're too carboned up. Nice and tan on the tip there. So I'll just hit them with a wire wheel real quick. Chuck them back in the car, and we'll see if we can get this thing to fire off. Got the plugs all cleaned up. Looking pretty good. I'll just rip them in here. Oh yeah, one thing you should never ever do, use an impact to put your spark plugs in. Never do that. Give her a crank, see if we got compression. Sounds like we got compression. I think this sucker will run. What do you think?
It's nice to see it's got some wheels on it.
You think it's gonna run?
Probably. Only because you're working on it.
Oh.
If it was anybody else, I'd say no.
Oh, shucks, honey. I see an open port where you can just feed brake clean into it. It's not going to plan. Come on.
What's all that?
That is potentially very bad.
Okay.
So what's happening is the motor's loading out. Partly because it is firing on the brake clean. But what I'm seeing is smoke coming out of the dipstick tube, which is right here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see her smoking a little bit? It stopped now. But here, let me crank it over again. Focus on that dipstick tube. It's not a good sign, typically.
Not usually.
But she's got compression on at least one cylinder, which is pretty good. 4 cylinders is just greedy.
Yeah, you're asking for a lot.
I don't know, ladies and gents. Yep, she's struggling, I think. I think that's about it. This car is definitely down on compression. It is what it is. Full can of brake clean wasn't enough to get it to fire off. I want to thank you for checking out Dean Machines, hanging out around here and doing all the fun things I like to do. How about you get in your garage, you fix something, huh? Have a good night.